Hey you guys, I'm Fabio Hart coming back with another video. In this video, what I want to talk about, I had got asked not too long ago. Someone asked me, they say, Fabio, every business have a flaw. What is the flaw that you personally have or your business personally have that you think that you can improve upon, right? That you think that you can make better? And I had to really sit back and think of, my flaw. And I think my biggest flaw is ego, right? I have a big ego issue. I always like to win. I'm one of those individuals. I'm very anal about winning. I want everything. I'm a Virgo. Sometimes we too perfect for our own right? So I can do things. I can multitask well. I'm analytical. I can analyze well. I can sell myself or sell my position well. Um, I know my markets. I know percentages. I'm really quick upstairs. Like I can assess the situation really quick. Um, in many aspects, I'm like a chameleon, right? So when I go in front of, different groups of people, whether I'm dealing with Arabs or whether I'm dealing with, whatever, African people, I can, Chinese people, whatever the case, I can assess the situation, listen to a situation, analyze it, and then make that work in my favor. It's almost a psychological thing, and I'm kind of glad in college because at first I wasn't a big fan of psychology, but there's really no course that you can take in college where you don't have to take at least one psychology class, right? That at least that I know of at college or university, right? So, I over time I began to learn or love psychology, and it's this one book. Well, it's quite a few different books, but it's this one book in particular that I read first. Well, two books one is Think and Grow Rich. That book, when I first read that book really changed my mental capacity, the way I thought about things. It kind of made me a little bit self-centered or egotistical a little bit as it relates to business. I always wanted to win. I don't know, Napoleon Hill, because I have the audio book for Napoleon Hill. I also have this thing called Your Right to Be Rich. And I listened to that. I haven't listened to it in years, but I used to listen to that audio book every single day. Napoleon Hill has a way to explain something to make you feel like you could really conquer the world at the highest level, and why you shouldn't take no for an answer, why you should, be the best you possible. Like he just has this aura about him that kind of transmute itself when you listening to him, where you feel like you can kind of put yourself in that mind frame that you could really do something that you probably doubt in your mind that you could absolutely do. I'm sorry. So Napoleon Hill, the first book, Think and Grow Rich, that was probably one of the most profound books I ever read in my entire life. Another book many years later came, The 48 Laws of Power. Now, The 48 Laws of Power is one of those books that I tell a lot of people to go and get. If somebody say, well, Fabio, what book should I read that'll help me just overall in life? I think that 48 Laws of Power is one of those books. However, I think that book can either have you on American greed, or I think that book can have you very successful or rich to any capacity, right? And I tell people that all the time because that's probably that book is incredible. I love that book, The 48 Laws of Power, okay, by Robert Greene. So that book, in conjunction with the Think and Grow Rich book, I think those two books in my entire life, outside of the Holy Quran, those two books, in my entire life it kind of molded me in a certain way, right? It kind of put me in this mind frame that in many regards that I'm better than the competition. I have to win at all costs. It just I don't know if you guys really like explain. I'm trying to really dig deep in my mind here and kind of get it out to you guys here on camera, that overall my one flaw is I'm a very sore loser. I always want to win. I don't care if I'm playing my little cousin in video games. We got to keep running the game back until I win. I can't get off the game until I win. Like, I always like to win. And I don't know when that mentality come from. Also, it's another, like, he's my hero, like, in Canada. And I'm kind of getting off subject a little bit, guys, but I'm going to bring it back and kind of show you this guy, you might know him. You might have heard of him. You may have not heard of him. But it's this wrestler. His name is Bret the Hitman Hart. And my last name is Hart. His last name is Hart. And he has this thing that he's the best, wrestler in the entire world, ever, dead or alive, whatever the case is. And he has this saying that says, I am the excellence of execution. I am the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. Now, I used to say that, like, I used to wrestle. It's kind of funny. I used to wrestle, like, in school and, over the years. I actually got footage of me wrestling. Kind of weird. But I adopt that philosophy. Now, I started winning, like, matches, right? I really, in my head, it's just something in my head that make me feel like I'm better than any competition, guys. And that could be a downfall for me. Another downfall for me is that as I've grown over time, I became less flexible in my rates or what it is I feel like I'm worth. Okay? Like, in the beginning, I used to kind of come down a little bit on the price, or you guys might have seen me do videos and say, hey guys, I didn't keep this account, or I lost this account because they wanted me to come down on the price. I wasn't willing to come down on the price because I felt like my company operated at the highest level, or I felt like my employees did an excellent job. I feel like I have the best employees out there, right? Or the best subcontractors out there. I feel like, and I use this on the coaching all the time. I tell people, I say, you can't go to what's the company I like, Rolls-Royce. Rolls-Royce, you're gonna pay full value price for Rolls-Royce. Either you can afford it or you can't. You never see any commercials, or you never hear about Rolls-Royce going on sale. Matter of fact, they only build so many Rolls-Royces in the entire year, right? They only make so many of them, right? Everybody can't afford the Rolls-Royce, and you never see a Rolls-Royce on sale. It never have a on sale sticker price on it, right? The closer you're going to get to buying a Rolls-Royce on sale for a fraction of probably what it costs, if you buy it from a private owner, someone that owns a Rolls-Royce already, and they're giving you a considerable discount, right? But you're not going to buy a new Rolls-Royce at a discount, right? These are some of the luxurious cars. The Bentley is another one. These cars they only make so many per year, right? You can't get them on discount. So I feel that exact same way about my business, right? Now, I am a little flexible. Now, I don't want to seem like a douche here, but I am a little flexible. But over the time, the value that I feel that I bring to my client, residential, commercial, window cleaning, carpet cleaning, whatever, subcontractors, employees, again, I feel like I give at the highest value, right? Even with my coaching, like when I'm on a coaching, and if you was to talk to the people that I coach, they'll tell you that energy is transmuted. That energy is, I convert that energy over to them, because if they listening to me, if they're on a coaching call, I really want them to excel at the highest level, which is why I deal with them in an intense fashion, right? It's not like, hey guys, this is what you need to do this. I'm telling them you need to do it, and here's why. You got to put your system together. You got to do this and this go together. And if you do it this way, right, you might get some humps and bumps over time. It may not go exactly the way I'm saying it, but if you stay consistent at it, it'll help build your system to help you ultimately build your business on autopilot, right? So I'm kind of giving them, but I'm at an intense level. I take off, right? And that's how it is in my business. So sometimes between ego and my dad, what my dad call it, my dad called it narcissistic, or, conceited in a way, right? So my dad, even when I talk to my dad, I say, Dad, I just got to win. I got to win at all costs. I got to win. He's like, well, sometimes it's not always going to go your way, son. It's not going to always work out this way. It's not. And I'm not trying to hear it, because the thing is like, when you an entrepreneur, like, I'm not this big millionaire. I don't want to put myself out like I'm this big shot, right? But I do get accounts quicker now than I used to get accounts back in the day. I don't get every account, but I do get them quicker now than I used to get them back in the day, right? And that's whether I incorporate publicity around it. That's whether I, just the visibility that I create out here in the marketplace for myself. I feel like I'm the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. And I conduct myself as as such, right? I conduct myself like that. When I go in the building, I instantly, it's certain things that kind of just jump out to me that I know to look for, because I've been doing it so long. I've been doing it since 2012. It's not incredibly long, but I've been doing it long enough to know what to look for, right? I'm listening to them. They're walking around. They telling me what they're looking for. I can instantly tell, like, okay, this might need done. This is something that I can upsell them. I'm still listening. I'm still taking my notes on a walkthrough, but I it's just the way my mind works. It's kind of weird, guys. But like I said, I think that would be my downfall. If I can kind of get over myself a little bit, perhaps be a little bit more flexible with the pricing, right? Because I tell a lot of companies no, right? When I probably could have way more business, build the profit margin a lot faster, a lot deeper, right? Wider in that regard. But I tell a lot, no, unfortunately, I'm sorry, we can't do it for that, because I'm focused in on paying my employees. I'm focused in on taxes. I'm focused in on the solutions and products we got to use. It's a lot of things that kind of go into why I would say no to a price when I already have it in my mind. Now, I am flexible sometimes, but it's very rare. I mean, the occasion is very rare. Okay. So that's the personal downfall that I have. I don't think that it's nothing. I might have to come back and do another video on a business downfall that I have. I'm sure I have one, because no business is perfect. But as I was thinking about these downfalls, when the person asked me the question, I couldn't really think of one that that kind of hit right off, because I'm big on systems, as you guys know, and I'm big on training, right? So I wish I could put some blame on my employees or whatever, but for the most part, they do what employees do. They call off here and there. They, do stuff that employees do. That's not a big thing, because it doesn't happen on a consistent basis. I can't say that I lose contracts left and right. Even with my contracts in Ohio and Georgia, right? Everything is systematically ran. I mean, you get some hiccups, right? But I can't say I have one flaw. I don't want to make the video go longer than it have to be, guys. Maybe I'll think about that on the business side and give you a flaw that my business have as a whole, that I could perhaps work on, or I could improve or make better, right? So, but again, the one flaw that I probably do have on a personal side is an ego issue, right? I don't like to lose. I always like to win. And I'm sure you guys are the same way. I guess you say, who likes to lose? No one likes to lose, right? But I'm anal about it, right? It's I really don't like getting turned down for a contract. Sometimes I go in a little bit too cocky. Yeah, that's just been honest to God truth, guys. Sometimes I go in a building a little bit too cocky, right? I get myself together. I feel like I'm well groomed. I don't look like this, obviously, right? But I get myself together. I go in. I'm Fabio Hart. I go in. I kind of know what to look for. Go in, look the guy, the decision maker, in the eye. Or if I'm just doing a walkthrough, and I'm trying to introduce, hi, I'm Fabio Hart with Hollywood Janitorial. Who would I talk to in regards to commercial cleaning? Even family, they're like, you charismatic. You have that charisma. they say you do this thing with your eyes. I don't know. It's just something that I just feel like I'm going to get this account. I used to kind of walk in kind of like, oh, hopefully I get it. Hope they like me. But now I've been doing it for so long, and you could talk to probably any other commercial cleaners that do door to door or the marketing, people that's been doing it for 15, 20, 30 years or whatever the case is. If you talk to an older guy or some veteran, they'll tell you, man, I can do this in my sleep. I can do this with my eyes closed, right? They really, really are sure of themselves because they've been doing it for so long. So it's a certain level of expectation that they have because they have been doing it for so long. They know certain things to look for. They know, certain, percentages that they're willing to take, they're not willing to take. They know what they just have this idea of the way things should go because they have been doing it for so long. And then I have mentors as instilled in me. Both of my mentors, both are ex-commercial cleaning company, ex-commercial cleaning owners, right? They didn't sold their commercial cleaning business. So the knowledge that they impute in me is just absolutely insane. So if that doesn't do it, I don't know what does. Like, they give me this knowledge, I suck it up, I take notes, right? I'm like a sponge, and then I kind of use what they tell me, and again, that work magic within me, Plus, again, Think and Grow Rich. I love that book. If you guys haven't read it, I would suggest you go ahead and purchase it. Book is about $8, right, on Amazon, something like that. Also, I would suggest you guys get the 48 Laws of Power. I believe I know how to use the 48 laws. I have it to a certain science. I feel like I do, at least, right? And another book I like to, and I think I'm starting talking about books too, guys. I think once a week I might start doing another video. I'm about to let you go. I swear to God, I'm gonna let you go. I think I'm gonna start doing videos about certain books that I like and give you kind of books, like book reviews maybe, or overall of a book that you guys can go out, books that I've actually read, books that I like, and books that I think will be a great help for you guys, because I read a lot of books. Like, I have so many books, right? And I've read a lot. Some books I've bought, I haven't even opened the book up since I bought the book. But I have this phobia, this fear that books are going to become obsolete and everything is going to be digital. And I'm not the biggest fan of ebooks and downloading and reading it on the screen. I always like a good hard copy book, right? I always like just a good hard copy book that I can flip through the pages and read and put up on the shelf and pull it whenever I want to pull it, opposed to reading something off the internet or have to download it from the internet, the paper version, right, from the internet, and then read it that way. I always like a good book. But I think I'm gonna start doing that, guys. Sorry I went so long. Hopefully you guys understand. But once again, I do think the one downfall that I have is my ego. It's probably some other downfalls I have too, but my ego being in the way of my own self. That's probably one of my biggest downfalls. I'm Fabio Hart. The only person that could ever stop you from starting up your own dreams and making it to the top is you. Take care, guys.